Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we've got a great story for you. It's about taking these huge, global ideas for building smarter cities and figuring out what actually works on the ground, street by street. All right, let's dive in.
So, let's start with a question you've probably thought about. How do our cities make these massive decisions? Is it just guesswork? Politics? Well, the answer, more and more, is hidden inside this massive, invisible web of data.
And that web is called geospatial information. The best way to think about it is like the digital nervous system of your city. It connects the location of every single road, every pipe, every building, to really important stuff like population numbers or flood risks. It is literally the where behind every single decision.
So, to handle all this complexity, the world really needed a plan, a blueprint, if you will.
And that playbook came from the United Nations. It's called the UN's Integrated Geospatial Information Framework. Yeah, it's a mouthful, so we'll just call it the UN-IGIF. It was designed to help entire nations get their data sorted, make better decisions, and hit big targets like sustainable development. It's this huge, ambitious plan.
And believe me, it is comprehensive. The whole thing is built on these 9 different strategic pathways. They cover the whole shebang, from top-level government stuff and laws all the way down to funding and partnerships. It was really designed to be the complete package.
Okay, so now let's zoom in. We're going from that huge global plan right down to the street, where the actual work gets done.
And this gets us to the absolute heart of the matter. Can a framework that was designed for an entire country, with all its money and people, really work for a single city or a small province? I mean, can one size really fit all?
Well, that's the exact question a group of researchers in Indonesia wanted to answer. So they went straight to the source. They surveyed 103 local governments and did these deep dive interviews to see which parts of that big UN playbook were actually making a difference.
And what they found? Well, it basically separated what's truly critical from all the background noise.
So remember those 9 big strategies we just saw? The research asked a really simple question. Which of these actually has a significant positive impact on a local government's ability to manage its data? The answer was not what you'd expect. And here it is. The data was crystal clear. The statistical analysis showed that only 3, just 3, pathways consistently move the needle. Having strong governance and institutions, making sure you have high-quality data, and critically, investing in the capacity and education of your people.
Just think about that for a second. Out of 9 official strategies, only 3 had a real, measurable, positive effect. The other 6, things like financial plans, innovation, partnerships, they didn't show a significant impact in this context. For these local governments, they were essentially noise. This tells you one thing. Focus is absolutely everything.
So this discovery is a total game changer, right? It means cities can stop trying to do everything at once and instead focus on what really, truly works.
And this quote just perfectly sums up one of those core problems. When they dug into capacity and education, the interviews showed this reoccurring issue. So many of the skilled workers are on temporary contracts. That makes it incredibly difficult to build any kind of long-term knowledge. It's a real human problem that a generic framework just can't see from 30,000 feet. So, based on all this, the researchers proposed a solution, a simple logic model. It's a really practical tool. First, you identify the specific local problem, not the global one, yours. Then, you focus your resources on those 3 high-impact pathways we know work. From there, you create concrete actions to solve the problem and achieve a clear, measurable outcome.
So what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, for a less developed Class 1 government, the main problem might be a basic lack of staff. So the solution is simple: focus on hiring and training. But for a more advanced Class 5 government, the problem isn't a lack of people, it's that the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. So their solution is totally different: regular meetings to get everyone coordinated. It's the same framework, but with completely different solutions tailored to their actual needs.
And all of this brings us to the big takeaway, the universal lesson here.
If you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this number: 3. Not 9, 3.
It's the ultimate proof that being laser-focused on the vital few is so much more powerful than trying to do everything all at once. It's about finding what truly matters.
So, the most powerful lesson is this. A global blueprint is a fantastic starting point. It gives you a map, but true, measurable success only happens when you adapt that map to the actual terrain you're standing on.
At the end of the day, it's a shift in mindset. The goal isn't to perfectly copy-paste a pre-made framework. The goal is to deeply understand your own unique challenges and then use that framework as a kind of toolbox to build a custom solution. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. What's a big, ambitious idea in your work or your community that's just struggling to take hold? And could the answer lie not in trying to do more, but in finding those vital few things that will truly make a difference right where you are? Thanks for joining me.